What's up, YouTube? This is Bystander X79. Guys, this is the end of ban list week, and today you're getting my ban list predictions for the April 2019 TCG ban list. Guys, we got some good cards to go over here, so let's just turn around and get right into it. First off, we're going to start off with the bans, and of course, staring you right in the face, one of the most problematic cards in the current metagame, Outer Entity Afterthought. This is the card that needs to go. It's a you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh style card. It needs to be banned. Basically, a lot of players are summoning this thing out using the Phantom Knight's rank up magic to bring this out during their opponent's turn so they can't activate any monster effects. And guys, given that, it's just too powerful to do. So, with that being said, on this next list, Konami should be saying, "Begone that." Next is a card I actually mentioned on my meta deck analysis. Sky Striker Mecha Modules multi-role needs to go to 0. Alright? Its first effect basically allows you to target one other card you control, send that card to the graveyard. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your spell card activations for the rest of this turn, even if multi-role leaves the field. Turning every single spell card you control into a spell speed 4 is not healthy. Okay? I mean, just allowing your opponent to go off and be able to pick apart your board with their resources and gain more resources, no. No. This thing needs to go. The other thing about it is that by banning this card, Konami doesn't actually have to turn around and touch cards like Gari or Engage or Widow Anchor, because this card's recursion ability is gone as well. Alright? So I think it's a fair hit to the deck. You're going to leave the majority of the Sky Striker deck alone, and more importantly, Konami can now reprint Engage and Widow Anchor and Battle as a Legend, and basically make the deck a little bit more affordable to a lot of different players. Alright? Next up. Come on. There we go. Yep. Danger Nessie. Now, this is the only danger card I'm actually putting on the ban section of the list. I know a lot of people out there say, oh, the entire archetype is banned. No. Yeah, I get the reasons for and against. I mean, they're all walking upstart goblins. You can spam the field with them, blah, blah, blah. But here's the situation. TCG, Konami's R&D department, when they designed this archetype, they designed it with purposes in mind, all right? This deck can stand by itself, but a lot of times people are using this particular archetype as an engine to boost the consistency of a lot of different decks. Take a look at what happened with Lunar Lights this year, all right? Came out of left field, it won on YCS, it was running dangers in it to boost its consistency so it can get to the cards it needs to go off. Alright, and that's what this archetype was designed to do, to help boost other decks that don't have that consistency, to bring them up a few notches. I applaud Konami for creating an archetype like this, alright? Now, I'm not saying all the cards are perfect. Danger Nessie in this particular situation, regardless what effect you're going off, you're maintaining hand advantage, alright? All dangers have the ability to special summon themselves out and draw a card to maintain hand advantage, and if they're not, they get sent to the graveyard, which is a negative to your hand advantage. Nessie in this case doesn't do that. No matter which effect goes off, you're maintaining hand advantage because you get the search whenever it's sent to the graveyard. In my opinion, I think having that search go off the second it hits the graveyard is the bad thing. If they could actually turn around and maybe errata this card to maybe do the search during the end phase, I think this card would have been better and wouldn't be such a problematic card in the archetype. Alright. The last card I have on the ban section of my prediction list. Come on. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Yeah, this card has become a key piece in the Guard Dragon engine, being constantly abused by being brought back out of the graveyard, out of the deck, out of the banish zone, and constantly be using its effect to get monsters out of the graveyard or out of the hand onto the field to extend plays. It just isn't worth it anymore, especially It wasn't designed to function like that. I know there were a lot of cards around like that that kind of got on the ban list because of that. Just because of new archetypes. Red Eyes Testament Hell Dragon is just one of those cards that is going to have to bite the bullet there. I'm actually preferring this card over something like Summon Sorceress, because if you actually compare the two, Red Eyes Testament Hell Dragon is a heck of a lot more abusable than Summon Sorc. Yeah, I know the argument that, well, at least Summon Sorc leads to degenerate plays, but when you boil Summon Sorc down, minimum number of cards you have to invest into Summon Sorc is 3. And then you're using her effect once per turn, and you're linking her for something else. With that being said, since this card is constantly being re-incurred and using his effect to get more stuff on the field, yeah, it's going to turn around and need to be gone. Alright, so that's it for the 4 cards for ban. That's Outer Ending Azeroth, Skystriker Mega Modules, Multi-Roll, Danger Nessie, and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. For the limit section, I'm putting Danger Jackalope in this. Alright, the primary reason why the Danger Jackalope needs to go to 1 is because it's special summon from the deck. The last TCG exclusive archetype we got that had a monster that special summons from the deck, it wound up going to 1. That's Graph, the Malbranch of the Burning Abyss, for those of you guys don't realize that. Yeah, special summoning from the deck is just a little bit too powerful. I know it's an R-type special summon, but still, it gets the body on the board in this day and age. Stuff like that can just lead to a lot more plays. My opinion is that if this card had just a slight errata, like for instance, you were only allowed to special summon danger monsters for the rest of the turn after using this effect, I think it would have been better. I mean, I think locking your opponent into special summoning specific things would actually turn around and balance cards out, and I think the R&D department really needs to turn around and pay attention to that and moving forward when they're designing cards. Just my thoughts. It needs to go to 1. 1 use and you're done. That's pretty good. Alright, next card. Yeah, I put the Dragon Colossus to 1. Just having multiple copies on this field is just too impressive. It makes it extremely hard for a lot of different players, a lot of different decks to really play through. Pushing this thing down to 1, it needs to happen. Alright. Now, speaking about limiting extenders, Sarusha Skuldred needs to go down to 1. A lot of people say, oh, it should be banned. No. 1 is fine, because if you think about it, before a lot of this danger engine and a lot more of this spam decks really started coming into the meta, this card, if it was being played, it was a 1-of. In my opinion, keeping it as a 1-of is just fine. You fix your hand once, you move on. You get that 1 extra special summon, and that's it. Alright. Now, stuff that's moving down off the ban list to limit it, that Grassless Screener. Alright, I call this when the last ban list came out, when we got Fairy Tale Snow banned. Once Fairy Tale Snow got banned, this card basically has a green light to come off. I really don't see the need for Konami having to put this card at 0 when the proper meta card that was being milled, Fairy Tale Snow, is now gone. So, put this down to 1, like 60 card decks have a thing. Give more power to those decks. Yeah, let's see. And diversify the meta a little bit more. Another card I want to see coming off the ban list is going to be Pot of Virus. This boosts a whole lot of different decks. It's unlimited in the OCG, and it's really not doing anything. I mean, you gotta turn around and target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into your deck, and then draw 2 cards. A lot of different things that can disrupt it now. We have DD Crow is prevalent in the meta. I know you have things like Ghost Spell that can probably interfere with this as well. So, yeah, I can actually see this card being moved down off the list as well. Alright, so that's basically it for the limited section. Danger, Jackalope, the Dragon Colossus, Sarusha Skuldred, that Grassless Screener, and Pot of Virus all in 1. Okay, for semi-limits, I followed through with some of the OCG hits. Dynamite Knight, the True Decker Fighter, it needs to come down. I mean, True Dracos, they need this card at 2. I mean, It just doesn't seem right to have this card being at 1 when you have like 4 targets. I mean, it doesn't make sense. 2 is good. It gives the deck just that 1 extra body, and altogether, I don't think it's really going to affect the deck that much. Alright? I'm also moving either the Heavenly Monarch. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about this happening because this thing can get an extra monster on the field from the deck. And depending on the build, if you're going for more of an extra deck-centric build, yeah, that can lead to more further play. So she is a bit of an extender if you want to go for an extra deck Monarch for build. But ultimately, the Monarchs, another big body in the Monarchs wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, just to help thin out the deck, to help boost consistency, does help a lot. Alright? And of course, one card I want to see coming down the list is Book of Moon. I'm sorry, this thing needs to come down. It's unlimited in OCG right now. I mean, it's a great weapon card to actually have to basically break up combo plays. For those cards that can be flipped in defense mode. I would like to see it move down to 2, and yeah, Konami really giving us the tools back to really combat problematic situations. Alright, for the unlimits, again, consistency boosters for Monarchs. In my opinion, they need more consistency cards than they do the bodies. That's why I put Aether at 2. Even if Aether doesn't go to 2, Pantheism should be coming down the list to at least 3. The deck needs the consistency. Alright? I'm also putting True King's Return. Part of the reason why True King's Return went to 1 is because of Masterpiece. I mean, it would get a monster on the board during your end phase, and then during your opponent's phase, you can use this card's quick effect to actually tribute it and that monster off to get Masterpiece on the field. With Masterpiece being gone, there's really no need for this card to be at 1. I mean, the deck doesn't have many monsters as it is. Most of the time, it's going to be bringing back just 1 monster at a time, so I don't see the necessary to keep this thing at 1 anymore, and the extra spot removal just helps the control deck become more control-y, and yeah, I know, control-y, but still allows control deck to actually help them control the field, and makes the deck just a little bit better. Alright, and last but not least, this is another OCG hit that I think is going to be coming over. They semi-limited it in OCG, is actually going to 3 in OCG on their April 1st list. I can actually see this coming down to 3 in our list as well. Primarily the reason is that if you look at how our game is evolving, we're getting more cards that can special summon stuff from the deck, from the graveyard. Yeah, and even though they're maybe archetype specific, we're going to need cards to counteract that. All those cards, whether it be Monster Reborn, World Legacy Secession, the World Legacy Guard Dragon, Will of the Salamangreat, Danger, Jackalope, Orcust Harpar, they all special summon, they all start chains. This Solemn Warning stops them. Plain and simple. The more back row cards we have to actually be able to stop these things, I think the better and more balanced the game is going to be. Will this card be run at 3? Who knows? I mean, Bottomless Trap Hole is at 3 and nobody's running it because everybody's so combo oriented. We start getting cards back that can actually help us combat these lengthy combos to shorten the player turn time. The game is going to get healthier. We're going to see a lot more decks starting to actually move into the meta and the meta becoming a lot more diverse. All right, and yeah. So guys, this is it for my Banlist predictions for the April 1st, or actually April 2nd, 2019 Banlist. Hopefully, we're going to be getting it soon in the next couple of weeks. So guys, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Guys, check out the description box below. Check out my Discord. Join the conversation there. Have a lot of cool things going on right now. Guys, be on the watch out. Monday, I'm announcing my next giveaway, so be on the lookout for that as well. And until next time, guys, peace.